Hello, and welcome to the LinkedIn workshop by Northern Kentucky University's Career Services. My name is Jess, and I am one of the peer career coaches in our office. I am also a current student majoring in visual communication design. Today, I'm going to show you how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional social media site used to build a network through connections, help find jobs and internships, and research about a career path you're interested in working for. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to log in and navigate to the profile page. So when you first visit LinkedIn, it will prompt you to either join now and create an account or sign into a current account. So I already have an account. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Once you are logged into LinkedIn, this will be the page that it brings you to. It shows your profile on the left-hand side, some different things that people have posted in the middle. These can be different people that you follow, just some recommended things for you as well. And then some LinkedIn news on the right-hand side. To navigate to the profile page, you will click the icon in the top right-hand corner and click View Profile. On your profile page, the first thing you will see is a cover photo and a profile picture. For your cover photo, I suggest adding something that represents you, your major, or your interest. For example, I am a visual communication design major, so I added a picture from a project I completed in an art class last semester. So this is the picture I used. For your profile picture, I would suggest adding a picture of just yourself and something professional if possible. Again, for me as a visual communication design major, this would be an acceptable photo, but for some different majors, I may go with a more traditional headshot. Under your name, you will see a headline. Here you can add a position you're currently in, what job you are seeking, or a few words to describe yourself. Below, you can add what job opportunities you are open to. This will allow employers to see what you are interested in. I am not currently searching for jobs, so I do not have this clicked on my profile. To add this, you would simply click Open To and click Finding a New Job. And here we'll show you some different things on your LinkedIn, some analytics, people who have viewed your profile, different things like that, as well as some resources. And the next section is the About section. You can add a brief summary about yourself here. I have talked about my major, the career path I am seeking, and my interest. You can add as much as you would like in this section. One thing to keep in mind when writing your About section is that only the first 4 lines will show up for an employer to read without having to click See More. So I would encourage you to write what is most important that you would like employers to see first. You can see that I have listed some things here, but I've also listed an entire paragraph that employers would not be able to see without clicking See More. So be sure to add the most important things you would like them to see first. Scrolling down, next is the Featured section. You can add your resume, photos, and any documents you would potentially like employers to see. I have added my resume, but am currently working on adding a portfolio of my current work. This is also where you are able to add any projects you have worked on, presentations, or anything else you would like employers to see. When uploading your resume, you may want to consider updating your contact information to censor out your phone number or address. You should leave your email address on your resume for employers to reach out to you. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional social media platform, so everything you should add should be professional. Below is your dashboard. Here's where you can see some different activities and posts if you've posted recently. You can see that I have not posted recently, but if I did, it would show up here. The next section is the Experience section. You can upload the positions you are currently in and positions you have worked for in the past. Below each position, you will add a summary about what you do in that position or what you did in that position. This is where you can decide to share what you would like about these positions. You can choose to list these in bullet points, like you would on a resume, or you can write them in paragraph form. this is what I have chosen to do. I have written these in a paragraph form, but you can do it in a bullet point as well. As long as it is consistent throughout, it does not matter. This section is similar to your resume, but you can expand on the information as you would like to do. An important thing to keep in mind is that employers are only going to be able to see the first 2 lines unless they click view more. So remember to keep the important things in the beginning. Next is the education section. And this is where you can put the high school that you attended as well as any other degrees you are working on or have received. You can also add any organizations that you were involved in at that time at that school. The next section is the volunteering section. This is where you can list any volunteer experience you currently have or that you have completed in the past. And the same thing with the other sections, you can elaborate on that more underneath it. The next section is the skills section. And here you can add anything you are skilled at. This helps employers know what you're good at. I highly recommend having someone endorse your skill. So you can see that my first 3 skills listed here have been endorsed by my boss. So those are going to be the skills that show up first. You can click show all skills and you can see all of the skills that I have listed on my LinkedIn. The one good thing about the skills section of LinkedIn is you can actually take a skill quiz if you aren't sure what your strongest points are, and it will help you determine what skills to add to your profile. Something else that you can do is you can rearrange the skills to see which ones are listed at the top. You simply click the 3 dots and click reorder. You can then drag a skill to a different position if you want employers to be able to see that first. And the next section is the languages section. This is similar to skills, but it has its own section. So you can add any other languages that you are currently working on learning or that you have proficiency in. The last section on the profile page you will see is your interest. This is where you will see company pages you follow and are interested in. So you can see that I have showed an interest in the Cincinnati Art Museum because I follow them. When you are job searching and employers see that you're interested and follow a related page, this can show your interest to the job and or company that you're applying to work at. So now that we have made it through the profile section, I will show you how to edit and update your profile. So to add an entire profile section to your LinkedIn profile, you will click Add Profile Section and click on the one that you would like to add. Now, to edit the already existing sections, you will click the pencil in the top right-hand corner of that section. And this will allow you to edit or delete anything that you already have listed. But remember to click Save when you're done so it has your progress saved. Now that we've made it through the profile section, I will show you how connections work on LinkedIn. One thing that makes LinkedIn different than other social media sites is that it uses connections instead of follows. Connections help you build your network. And there are 3 different types of connections on LinkedIn. You have your first connections, which are people you follow. Your second connections are your first connections. And your third connections are your second connections. Now, the important thing to remember is you cannot see past your third connections. So that is why it is super important to connect with as many people as possible to build a bigger network. Now we are going to explore the network page. And to navigate to that, you will simply click on My Network in the top. Here you can add your Gmail if you would like to pull contacts from there. And this will help you build your connection. So you click on contacts, and these are some people from my Gmail. And you can also see some different recommended connections that pop up. So there are a few people that work in our office, as well as some other people who have requested to connect with. Now you can search for people to connect with in the top left search bar. So I'm going to search for someone in our office. When you search for someone and you find someone that you would like to connect with, you'll see a connect button. You can go ahead and click the connect button and it will prompt you to either add a note or send your invitation. So now if I were to connect with Lydia, this is someone who I work with in our office every day, so I would not send a personal note. But if I were to connect with someone I was less familiar with, I would add a personal note introducing myself and explaining why I would like to connect with them. And if you would choose to add a note or you would just go ahead and send, you would click send invitation and let them know you would like to connect with them. Another easy way to find people to connect with is using the alumni tab on the NKU LinkedIn page. The first thing you will do to get to the alumni tab is to type in Northern Kentucky University in the search bar. You will choose the one with the main NKU symbol that pops up first. And this will take you to the main NKU homepage on LinkedIn. You will see a tab that says Alumni, and you will select this tab. Here you will find all NKU alumni and students who are currently attending NKU or have in the past, and who are currently on LinkedIn. You can find information about where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied, and what they're skilled at, and how you're connected with them. So you can see that there are currently 56,697 alumni. So you can scroll through and see where they live, where they work, etc. This is a great place to make connections on LinkedIn. You can find people who have the same major as you, similar interest, or work for companies that you may be interested in working for. Below these categories, you will find profiles of NKU students and alumni, and you can use this to connect with them. So this is where they will be listed. To narrow down your search, you can type in a keyword. For example, if you're interested in design, you would type in design in the search bar. And this will bring up searches for people who have listed design in their profile. So if you would like to narrow this down even further, you could select graphic design, for instance. So I'm going to select people who have studied graphic design at NKU. That will narrow this search down to 652, which is much more manageable. And maybe I'm interested in connecting with people who not only study design in NKU, but also work in the Cincinnati area. So I could then narrow it down even further. So when I scroll down, all of the people that pop up will be people who work in the Cincinnati area and also study graphic design at NKU. So you can see that a lot of these that pop up are my second connections. There will also be some third connections that pop up as well. And this is where you can find people that you would like to connect with, and you can click the connect button and add a note telling them why you'd like to connect with them. Members on LinkedIn are always open to help, so I highly recommend asking any questions that you have about their major, their interests, or companies that they're working at. So lastly, I'm going to show you how to use the job board on LinkedIn. To access the job board on LinkedIn, you will go to the suitcase symbol at the top of the page. The job board is set up like many other job boards such as Indeed and Handshake. I recommend creating a list of keywords related to the job field you're interested in working for before you start job searching on LinkedIn. When you get to the job page, you will see there are some different things listed on the left, such as jobs you've flagged, different job alerts, some skills assessments, interview resume, things like that. And these will be some recommended jobs that will go ahead and pop up for you based off of your past searches. So I'm going to do an example of how to search for a job. I'm getting a degree in visual communication design, and I'm interested in working for that field and anything involving art or design. So I'm going to start my search with the keyword design. It's also important to fill out the location that you are interested in working in. So I'm going to narrow to Cincinnati. And it will automatically pop up as 25 miles from Cincinnati. So you can see that this pops up 67,000 results, which is quite a bit when job searching. So you can narrow this down even further. For instance, you can narrow by experience level. So maybe I am looking for an internship. So I can click internship. And this will narrow my search down quite a bit to only 549 results. And this can be a lot more manageable when searching for jobs. You could also narrow down even further if you would like. You could narrow by a certain company if you have a certain company you're interested in working for. You could also narrow by remote or on-site job if you are interested in that as well. Or a different industry, or if you have a specific industry in mind. So you can see that there are 549 results. So all of the jobs that pop up for your filtered search will be on the left-hand side. So I'm going to scroll through a few of these. And when you select a job, so I'm going to select this first one, it will pop up on the right-hand side with a description of the job. All jobs set up their description a little differently, but they all have the same general information, including the position, the summary of the job responsibilities, qualifications, the industry type, and the employment type. So once you have read all of this and decided that you want to apply for this job, you will simply click the apply button. And this will direct you to a separate link to apply. Now, some of the jobs will have NKU or have LinkedIn Easy Apply that you can use to apply for them. And this is one of them. So this one says apply easily. So then this button will say apply now, and it will use all of the information on your LinkedIn to fill in that application for you. Now, there are going to be a few things that you have to add, but it would take all of your information and add it to your application. Now, you can also search for a specific company or organizations to see what jobs they have available. So for instance, maybe I really like a company, but I want to see what other jobs they have. You can click on the company's name and go straight to their profile page on LinkedIn. You can then see all of the different posts that they have made, as well as recent job openings there. To search for a company or organization, you would search the same as if you would for a job in the search bar. And to navigate back to the home page of LinkedIn, you will click the home in the top bar here, and it will take you back to the home page of LinkedIn. So overall, this has been how to use LinkedIn. Thank you for listening.